what is it do you think it is about Sweden that is creates so much good metal?
I think actually, to be 100% honest, I think it comes from, well, most of all, of course, our interest for music since a long time. The musical culture, like that we actually take music very seriously, for example, in school, that every kid get to learn to play an instrument. It's like obligatory or in the to have a music class. And um, yeah, I mean it's been very much focused on learning how to play music. And then we have had very successful musicians coming out of Sweden. For example, ABBA, Roxette, and there is something with our melody language and the way we put music together um, that somehow is very appreciated and around the world because every country sounds different. Every country has different musical culture, and for some reason, our music language seemed to be very much appreciated. And it's the same with like Max Martin, for example, who started to write songs. He was also in a metal band or death metal band before he started to write pop songs. But then he started to write songs for Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys and so on. And then that became like pop. But I would say it's actually like Swedish music. It's the Swedish melodies.
Yeah.
So yeah, because like you said, it could be in the form of metal because I also love Swedish metal bands. I think that there is like some kind of melody there, some kind of vibe, which is very like captivating compared to American bands or whatever.
Yeah. The Your latest album, The Catalyst, what were some of the biggest challenges in creating it?
Um, well, the biggest challenge, I guess, would be the mixing process because it's always different if we decide to write a song based on a guitar riff or if we decide to create it based on the keyboard sounds. And
Mm.
in this album, there was a lot of like piano driven songs. And Olaf is the one who plays the piano as well. So he doesn't do it live, but on the albums. So he was, of course, it's like I would want sometimes to have the guitar louder. But then it's like, no, but because this song is driven by these keys here, and then they need to be louder. And so it was like to get used to the new, like the arrangement of the songs, I would say. Because they were like a little bit more alternative and very much we used a lot of new influences on those, and it was a conscious decision, obviously. But so I think now we have gotten that out of our system, and for the next album, we're going to focus a lot on the guitar-driven riffs because that's really nice and something Olaf is very good at, and also like typical Swedish metal. So
So, out of the album as a whole, which tracks are you most proud of and why?
I'm well, I'm still most proud of Damnation Flag. Burning is down when we all let it go. And I'm most proud of it because it's very brave and it's a little bit like musical inspired and fun.
Mm.
And it's a little bit different from, some of the previous stuffs. And I think that was the goal to write something which was, yeah, a little bit different. Same as Archangel. So, but these are the only two songs that comes into that kind of gothic world. So I think that was really fun. And yeah.
Nice. So, I understand you went to a performing arts school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what can you tell me? What was that like?
But oh, it was really hard. It was like I don't know if you've seen the movie Fame.
Mm.
Fame. I wanna live. Yeah.
So, very competitive?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're you girls need to wear makeup on the ballet classes. Do you want to look like this? And then it was well coming out of the school 3 years later. I felt like I was released from a prison.
Did it make you tough?
It was like oh, but your toes are a little bit angled. Or so, very perfectionistic and like, oh my God, you have a little bit of underskin fat right here. That needs to get out away because if you want to be a prima ballerina, you can't have that. So it was kind of unhealthy in a way, but also experience. It was expensive as well.
What?
But because yes, it's part of if you go those kind of educations, which is called like professional educations, where you can go and audition for any job in any musical in anywhere in the world. But I'm glad I chose to do songwriting and singing more than dancing. My career, I would be what do you call it? When you go when you quit because of like professional sports people, you ruin your joints or whatever at when you're 35 or so, usually.
Yes, I've seen photos of ballerinas' feet, and it's just woof.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who
Voice
were? Sorry.
stays longer. The voice hopefully stays until, a very long time.
Yeah. How do you take care of your voice?
Oops. Good question. Uh, well, I don't smoke. I don't drink alcohol
Mhm.
because everything that makes it dry and stiff and so on, it's not good.
Okay.
And I try not to do this. That's
Yeah.
very damaging vocal cords. So I'm always like, I have something in my throat. Small tricks.
Who were some of your vocal idols growing up?
Can you imagine it or not? It was Freddie Mercury from Queen and both girls in ABBA.
Oh, bless. Must have been national heroes. Oh,
Yes! Oh my God, I can't. I I always think about ABBA when I talk with Australia because I know they became very big there, and they released one live DVD, and it was from Australia, and that's the thing I saw when I was like 7 years old or so, and that's the moment I decided this is what I want to do when I grow old. Like probably hundreds of thousands of other kids, but I loved how they sound, and I was like very much. I feel like, oh my God, but I also have kind of a voice like that. I was like, maybe if I practice some more, and it could be possible for me as well to go on tour in Australia.
that's fair. That's fair. This is your first time coming to Australia. What have you heard about this country?
Oh, I have only heard positive things. That the people is so nice and positive and friendly and amazing, and the environment. Well, I heard it's really warm in the summer, a
Hmm.
little bit too warm, maybe, and that you have dangerous animals because we don't have it in Sweden. I don't know if you knew that, but we don't have any. No animal or bugs or anything here could kill
Well,
a
I
person.
doubt they'd survive your winters. Unless they're a polar bear. Like, maybe.
Oh, that's probably it. Yes, it's too cold here in the winter, so they all go some other place. But yeah, so I mean, I am not used to that. I you have very exotic animals like koalas and kangaroos, and also I don't know, it's just crazy and very beautiful. But you also have not that many people, but a huge
Massive.
land.
Yeah, it's massive.
Interesting about Australia. And like I said, I only heard good things besides people being scared about spiders and snakes, and you have to check under the toilet seat before you sit there.
Ah, yes, all the fun, all the fun.
But
Um,
and they go vacation or if they want to come back. And I was scared if I go and I like it so much, I want to move there.
it's true. We'll happily have you. It's very expensive here, though. It is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Sweden's better. How do
Okay.
you think you have evolved as a performer over your career?
Okay. Yeah, maybe. When you mean me personally or
Yeah,
the band?
you.
Okay. Yeah, I was okay. Maybe I was very much like I was at least what I can see. the technique has become better for us because yeah, in the beginning it was very usually lots of problems with in-ears and the microphones and the mixing people were drunk somewhere, some other place, and so it was a lot of chaos, very unorganized, and I think that affected me in my performance a lot. That I couldn't focus so much, or I got very annoyed by that I couldn't hear myself, and I was singing out of key because I there was no sound in my ears, and it was just very hard. And it's mostly like that for most bands because you can't afford the best people and the best technique.
Mm.
But everything else, like luckily with time it got better and now everything is so perfect. So now I finally feel for the first time like, oh wow, I can just focus on enjoying singing. And I
Yeah.
think that's more relaxed on stage and not standing like super stiff or like doing my dance moves. And like I think we're more like grounded now, and I think it's a good thing. We also ran around a lot. I mean, we were like hyper energetic, um, which is fun. I have to say, it's really fun. But at some point, it also affects the singing if you jump around too much and stuff like that. So I feel like now we're like very, maybe a little bit more mature and like focused on the technique of singing and playing instead of like rocking out like playing false notes. So I think we became a little bit more confident with our songs, and I think that that's the biggest difference. And also, of course, we got a lot of backup from fires and great light show and a nice backdrop. So you can like you feel like, oh, it's a nice show, even if I don't run around like a crazy bunny.
In your years performing on stage, what have been some of the strangest things you've seen happening in the audience while you've been performing?
That's a very good question. Uh, what if I haven't seen anything strange?
Yeah, maybe
Only like, and those are not strange.
it's more like
Uh,
strange things in mosh pits that you just like, huh?
oh yeah, yeah. Also, I haven't seen. What have I seen? Well, when we were playing in the smaller stages in the beginning of our career, or no, it wasn't the beginning. It was like 5, 6 years in. I was playing, I was leaning down in the audience, like towards the audience, and they were very close. So one time, well, two times, it both things happened in Russia. So the first time there was a guy grabbing my neck and like pushing me, pushing when,
Mm.
and I was like ah. And then the second time, I knocked out my front tooth with the microphone. Yeah, I was like, the audience were so close and very crazy, so they like put their arms up and like my mic was here, so I was like, and I could feel I had just like small cracks all over, like, and
Oh,
my front went off. So, but besides seeing those things or experiencing those things, I haven't, what I can remember, I haven't seen anything mega crazy,
oh, fair.
actually.
Well, I
People in the nice behaving, and there is a lot of security, usually not so much in some other countries. Also, but it's usually really just fun, and yeah, I haven't seen anything super crazy.
well, I hope the show's in Australia. I hope you come out of it with all of your teeth. And yes. Um,
Yeah, but no, once you come someplace, it's to understand what about. It's like in Japan, people are super quiet and standing like very quiet, and when you speak at least, and when you play the music, they're like. We are kind of similar, Australians and Europeans and Swedish people. So, but you never know. Let's see. I'm curious.